Okay, the meeting is being live streamed.
Thank you, Luke. So let's call to order our public session of the OpenJS board for January 20th, 2023. Luke, can you bring up our slides, please?
Yes, one moment. It's jumped around a little bit here.
No problem.
Great. Does everyone see the slides? We should be live.
We're ready to go.
Great.
Robin, if you want to take it away.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Welcome. 2023, January 20th, OpenJS Foundation Board. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope you had a great holiday and have survived the cold snaps and floods across the U.S. Let's just jump right in. Our agenda today, just welcome introductions for those of you who don't know the folks. We have approval of our minutes from December. Sarah and Mateo will be giving a CPC update. I'll be giving a standards working group update. Kylie will give us a marketing and events update. So let's jump right in. So welcome, everyone. We just have a couple of folks who couldn't make it today. Sarah, oh, yep, thanks. I knew you had a hard stop. Thanks for joining, and we'll cover you on CPC. Yeah, so welcome to our board for 2023. Again, we're so glad to have you here and appreciate all the things you do in between these board meetings. Next up. Luke, I'm going to pass it to you for the approval of the minutes.
Great. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the public minutes for the December 2nd, 2022 meeting of the Board of Directors?
Yeah, motion to approve.
Director Moore made a motion to approve. Would someone like to second the motion?
Seconded.
Was that you, Alex?
Yes.
Great. Okay, Director Liu. Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstains? Great. The motion carries and the minutes for the public meeting of December 2nd, 2022 have been approved.
Great. Okay, CPC update. Mateo, would you like to take us through these?
These was done by oh, Sarah is gone, right?
She
Sarah
just had
had
a
to
jump, but I can
Yeah.
support
Yeah,
as
no,
well.
I can totally do it. Okay, so currently the CPC is working to determine what a CPC review process would look like, and how can we investigate, how can we define if a project is successful, how to even move a project through different categories. For example, if we want to move a project to growth to at large or growth to impact, maybe, I don't know. And what will be the requirement for doing so, and so on and so forth. So how do we get the feedback from all the projects? Because some of the projects are a little bit silent on feedbacks to the CPC. There is a nomination to the code of conduct, and there was also a PR open to make sure that we have a process to ask funds to the board, to us. Okay, so if a project needs some funds for some specific initiatives, like For example, ranging from infrastructure to security work to all the things that are a little bit more silent. OpenJS have a full, it's committed to create an environment for volunteers to operate, but we recognize that not always a volunteer-based approach. Like at some point, you probably need some money to sponsor some stuff. So if in that case, this is a way for the projects to ask if they need. And that's it. Yeah.
Great. And just on that last point on the automating the license validation check, LFIT was working with us to build it out. There's also interest from the folks at the Open Source Security Foundation. So we're going to sort of merge our efforts, and there's some work being done by other organizations outside the LF, and it looks like we'll be able to get that moving probably this quarter. So that'll be great. Okay.
Thank you, Matteo and Robin, for covering that.
Yeah. Standards Working Group. Jory, who's our Vice President of Standards at the LF, she also still chairs this group. She's on business travel today in a different time zone and couldn't make it, but wanted to share some of the things that we're all working on in our Standards Working Group. We're still working on concise guides for participating in standards. There were like 6 different priorities that the Standards Working Group had identified a couple of years ago. And really at the top is how to grow that sort of the next generation of spec editors and things like that. So education content is really important. And then we had, and we'll have an active month with our liaison organizations. TC39 has its next meeting starting January 30th. We had one of our community members nominate themselves to be on the advisory board at W3C. Fortunately, he didn't make it, but we are a member of the W3C, so we did put forth our ballot. The results just came out, so if you're interested in that, I think we may have an update in our standards Slack channel. And then we had quite a really busy time for the community over the holidays. There, was some hiccups that the W3C had in transitioning to a W3C Inc. If you're familiar with that, MIT used to host the W3C somewhat as its legal entity. That has gone to be an independent organization. And of course, a lot of us paying members of the W3C were quite keen on how that would all be resolved. Membership dues were being held up, staff was being held up, but that all was eventually resolved. But it was a little tense time, to be honest, I think, for a lot of the folks working in the W3C, but it seems to be all well now, and they're back on track with all of their various working groups. Any questions or anything to add for those of you who are working in the standards space? All righty. Marketing update, Kylie.
Hi, everyone. So we'll kick it off with a open visualization merger update. So we are working on a new website for the collab space. It's really close to being done. We're hoping to have it go live here in the next month or so. We're just finalizing some links and some images. So thank you to everyone who has put an effort there. The team has been hard at work on the GitHub repo, the Google Drive, the YouTube, all of those have been merged into our OpenJS channels. So those are available if you're interested. You can hit the next slide. All right, so diving into social media, these are our December metrics, which I'll preface this with a little bit of a lower month from November. We had a few less tweets and just a little less action with the holidays. But we did promote OpenJS World, which is coming up in May. And then we also finished out our Cyber Week sale as well. So metrics were a little under, but not too bad. And that was for our OpenJS Twitter. We can go to the next one, which is our Node.js Twitter. We did a really cool campaign in December with the help of Raphael, who works on our security progress report. We did a thread highlighting all of the cool things that we've done this year with Node.js security. We saw really good action on both Twitter and then LinkedIn, which I'll talk about in a minute. But our follower count continues to grow, which is super exciting. We had a lot more growth since the last month, about 1,500 more since, or like a 1,500 growth since last month. So that's really exciting. It's really good to see that channel grow. Okay, now over to LinkedIn. The graph looks kind of crazy this month, but it's kind of nice. But this stayed pretty standard from the last month too. We announced FlowForge as a member last month, which saw some good reposts on our OpenJS LinkedIn. All right, next one. I always love, every month I love sharing the comments that we get on our progress reports. They just make me so happy. I love this one. I'm down at the bottom. Security's been an issue of concern in Node.js, great one for the developer community. We love seeing those comments. So whenever we post those, we always get a lot of love. But here's the campaign I was discussing from Twitter, which we also adapted for LinkedIn. So it kind of highlighted all the things that the team had accomplished in 2022, which was also detailed in our monthly progress report. But also pretty standard on the December metrics for Node.js on LinkedIn as well. Okay, and then events. Can we hit the next one? Cool. We're really excited. Some of you may already know, but we're really excited to have OpenJS World come back for 2023. It will be co-located with the Linux Foundation's Open Source Summit, which is May 10th through 12th in Vancouver, Canada. But we are doing a collaborator summit on May 9th. So we hope to see everyone there for that as well. Our program committee is meeting bi-weekly to discuss the event and plan a great one for all the attendees. Registration opens next week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then CFPs close February 5th. So if you're interested in speaking, check out our blog, which has some guidelines and some tips if you're interested. And then other save the dates, we also have Open Source Summit Europe, which we'll be participating in as well, and having collab summits there too. So not too many details there yet, more of a save the date. And then also we will be having our member summit this year as well. And those are our events for this year. Robin, did you have anything else to add on to that?
No, it's just that our program committee is exploring how to do more with what we call third-party events that are non-OpenJS or LF hosted. So if there's an event that we need to be sponsoring, attending, speaking, please reach out to us. We have kind of a great list going with our program committee too, and we'll hope to do more to support community events and more international events this year.
So is that something you plan on publishing on LinkedIn, Twitter, and pick all the other social channels that we have, Robin?
Which, oh, we've invited, Kylie actually did a little,
yeah.
Kylie did a little campaign on Twitter asking for people to send us their favorite events where we should be. And we had some, we might be doing more of that. So didn't get a ton of feedback, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a flop, but we're gonna maybe bring it back in a different form. We're still thinking on that, but we're open to suggestions if you want to send us a note. But we will be kind of asking around a little bit more to get more feedback on that.
Great, thank you, Kylie.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Great.
everyone.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, thanks everyone for a great year. We're still, I feel like, wrapping up some details from 2022, but overall a good year, and looking at continued growth for 2023. And like I said, some of our highlights, thank you to the OpenSSF for providing those grants. So you'll be seeing some sort of new programs come as a result of that. But I think more importantly, we want to take those programs and share our learnings for the rest of the JavaScript ecosystem. So I try not to think about them as just a jQuery or a Node.js grant, but how can we scale that to everybody? So.
Yeah, very good. And, I think the, big thank you to former board members who aren't with us anymore. And of course, new ones who have taken their places. And 2020 was a good year. 2023 looks like it might be a little more challenging, but I'm sure we can support you, and we appreciate everything that the staff has done to move things as smoothly as they have over the course of 2022. So thank you.
Great. All right.
All right, well then let's call the public session of the OpenJS Foundation Board meeting to a close for today.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.